Hi, it's Callie here, and you should be watching this if you are in my advanced research and writing class. Um, I am super excited to be able to do a video. I know that 8:30 in the morning on Monday is early anyways, but now trying to get a video with us all together where we can chat and discuss things, I feel like it might be a little bit more difficult, not just because I have a household of people, but also because you do. And I'm not sure what every other teacher is doing in regards to holding class online. And sometimes if you're like us, you have one laptop and everyone's sharing. And yeah, so this way you guys can watch the video whenever you get a chance, whenever you see that laptop or iPad sitting off to the side and nobody's grabbed it, which is probably never. But hopefully, because you're committed to your writing class and your homework and to graduating, you are going to pick that up and you are going to watch this video and you're going to do your classwork. Hopefully, you got an email from me. But one of the things that I'm emphasizing is we're still going to have classwork during these videos. I'm going to ask you throughout to push pause, to do whatever writing or homework I have for you to do. And then you can push play when you finish, and then I'll keep going. Kind of like we do in class, where there are these little writing exercises that we do, and I have to be quiet for a few minutes, which is really hard for me to do, by the way. We're going to have classwork. Just so you know, we'll still have tests every now and then. Those will be usually big papers, just so you know at this point. But yeah, I want to go over a few things today as far as what you guys are going to be expected to do this week. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting because one of the things that I like to do at this point in class is to assign a group project. A lot of you probably just groaned or rolled your eyes, and I totally understand having to rely on someone else for part of your work. It just goes against everything that you normally do. So this week, the goal is for you to try and play with the APA style paper, essay, research paper, but then also to work with a group or a partner in some cases, because we have an odd number, to write a paper. Now, you guys each week are going to be working on your papers and emailing them in or submitting them through Toolbox, and I'll be grading them. This week, you will also, in addition to turning in your homework, while you're working on your homework, you're going to have to be working with a partner. I'm going to strongly suggest that you guys work in Gmail, with a Gmail account. If you go to your Google Drive and you choose to open a document or create a document, you can share that document and give them permission to edit, so that you can work together with someone, hopefully in a cohesive way. Okay, so this is the thing. When you do work in a group, sometimes you're going to have people that work harder than others. I'm going to encourage all of you to work your best and your hardest this week on this paper, because next week one of your assignments will be to essentially give your partners or your groups a grade. All right. So the pressure is on. Let's be our best, but let's also have grace and understand that it's going to happen, that you can't work at the same time or talk at the same time. And that's why I'm suggesting Google Drive as a great place for you to work together. You can leave messages and comments throughout papers or throughout the paper. You can edit each other's work. It's a great way to work with each other, but not have to work at the same time. I will say that you should also try and be kind in this process, but also constructive criticism. It can come across sometimes cruel, but most of the times if you say it in the right way, or if you use a happy face emoji with it, it can be constructive. That's what it's supposed to be. So this week, before we get to what the paper is about, you know me, I like to put some writing exercises in there. And this week, because you're writing with a partner, you're going to do some things to get to know your partner. All right. So first you need to know who your partner is. And I actually wrote this down earlier, and I'm going to pull it up right now. But one of our groups is going to be Joe and Joe. And I honestly thought that it would be kind of funny, because if you think about it now, I don't have to say Joe B or Joe L. It's just Joe and Joe. They're going to be working together. The next group is going to be Abby and Anna. You guys are going to work together. And then our final group is going to be Madeline, Jamie, and Shannon. So what I need you guys to do is get on Toolbox and find a way to connect with each other if you already don't know how to, and figure out who is going to be your coordinator, who is going to be your researcher, who is going to be blank, okay? But in addition to figuring that out, you guys are going to do a little writing exercise for me, okay? So you can do this via text, you can do it in a phone call, you can do it in an email, but it's up to you as to how you're going to make this happen. I want you, remember this is your classwork grade, so you do need to snap a picture or type it up and submit it to me so I can plug it into the grade book. I want you to come up with 3 places that you both have been before. Now, when I think of 3 places, I think of like cities, okay? But some of you may be homebodies. All of us are homebodies right now. I don't mind if it is like an amusement park or a national park, but 3 places both of you, or all 3 of you, because I have one group of 3, have been to. Then I also want you to come up with 5 things that you have in common. I'm going to help you though. I'm going to help you. The first thing is that you're both taking, or you're all 3 taking, advanced research and writing. See, you already have 1. And then I want you to come up with 2 things that you disagree about. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, why would you ask that? That's silly, because now we actually have to discuss things to find out if there are things we disagree on. So the one thing I can tell you to help you with this is that I would suggest maybe talking about, or kind of discovering what each of you have written papers about in the past. That might help you. But the reason I say 2 things you disagree about is that you guys eventually are going to end up in college classes where you have to work with a group or with a partner, and it's someone you don't even know. Like you haven't been sitting in a classroom for several months together, and you may come to find that you just really don't even care for this person. And now as believers, we need to love everybody, but maybe you just don't like the way that they are choosing to live their life. Maybe it's their lack of etiquette, whatever it might be, body odor included. There are going to be times we have to work with people that we don't want to. And I want you guys to point out 2 things you don't agree on, because you, regardless of what you agree or disagree on, will have to work with someone in the future. You will have to write a paper with this person or these people this week. And it's not to make you not like each other, but it is to help you understand that you really still can work together, even if you don't agree on everything. So that is going to be your classwork assignment. I would love for you to right now, because it takes kind of an initial bit of work on your part first before you can really communicate to the other person. This is what I want you to do. In a few minutes, you're going to hit pause, okay? But on a sheet of paper, because remember, you're asking about places they've visited, you're asking about things you have in common, and you're also going to come up with 2 things you don't have in common or that you disagree with about. What I want you to do is, before you contact them, I want you to, ready? Make a list of your 3 favorite places. I want you to make a list under that of the, let's say, let's say two things that you think you might already have in common with the person that you've been partnered with or grouped with. And then I want you to also come up with one thing that you think, oh, that might be a topic that we don't agree on. Now, for some of you, that's going to be difficult because you don't know each other super well. But it could be anything from your favorite sports team to your preference in swimsuit attire. You know, I don't know what it is, but you can come up with it. So hit pause, write those things down, and then you're going to push play after you write those things down. On your mark, get set, pause. Now, some of you didn't hit pause, and you're supposed to hit pause and do those things, and then you can email your partner or your group. Okay, play. Yes, play. We want to hit play. And you've already written those things. Some of you might have had to rewind a little bit, get through some of my mumble jumble, and you have finished your classwork there. You're going to include with those things that you just wrote down your partners or your group's answers and what you guys have decided, and then you're going to turn that in. What? That's your classwork grade. Connecting with other people. Isn't that wonderful? Especially if you're at home by yourself and feel super isolated. This is going to help you connect. Now, when it comes to your topic this week, you guys are going to be writing about the topic of isolation. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me start off by saying that APA style papers are very clinical. So in your approach to the topic of isolation, just know that you do not have to add a bunch of awkward personal experiences. And I'm not saying that you don't have to add them. I'm saying you don't have to add them. And I'm also going to say that in an APA style paper, whatever you do choose to add, make sure that it is connected to statistics and facts. Now, if you've heard me before, we've talked a little bit about how APA style papers are the style of papers that you will tend to write if you choose to go into college and study psychology, any type of science, nursing, anything that has to do with more of a logical frame of mind. I think of like even math classes, if it's theory, that sort of thing, you'll be using APA style papers. Now, my favorite is MLA because I love to use lots of experience and information that I've gleaned over time. APA, it can be information that has been gleaned or collected over time, but it is going to have to be in a very logical, sterile, kind of almost mathematical way that you include it. You guys in an APA style paper are going to have a title page. And then you are also going to have, which is your page, it's page one, like it counts as a page as long as, you know, you get the formatting right. I will put a link in Toolbox. I'm actually going to go back and add it right now. And it will be a link to show you how APA style papers are formatted, just so that you have clarification on the differences between MLA and APA. You might want to choose one person in your group that's in charge of implementing that formatting. Not that they would do it all, but that they would get it set up, and then the other group members could make sure that they help edit and make sure that it's correct. APA style papers, like I said, have that title page, and then page 2 starts with content. When it comes to working with a group, I will tell you that some of you guys have implemented outlining into your process. This is a great time to start outlining if you don't already, because when you start an outline, especially if you're sharing a document in your group, you can start writing down ideas, jot them down, kind of like almost in a list, and then your partner or your group members can go in and add notes. And it's a great way to make sure that you have enough content, but then also that you whittle out content that you maybe don't need, because your paper this week is going to be 6 pages long. Ooh. Don't freak out. you can gasp, but don't freak out. Because there are 2, and some of you have 3 people working on this project, on this paper. Just know that I know you can come up with this content, and if you really sit back and think about this, your first page is a title page, and your last page is a works cited. That means 4 pages of content, and I know each of you can do that. I am completely confident that that can happen. So just know that I believe in you. I trust that you're going to do your best. And when it comes to this paper on isolation in APA style, if you have any questions, if you're not sure what to do, feel free to comment. Don't comment here. Call me or text me or email me or something, and I will try to help you. There is going to be a lot of material about isolation currently for you to read about and to maybe quote in your paper. Take advantage of that. Your minimum number of works cited is 3. Your maximum is 5. Okay, so you can have up to 5 works cited, but you have to at least have 3. Okay, does that sound fair? I think it sounds good. I will tell you, in my personal preference of writing research papers, I like to have usually 1 works cited for each page. So I have 1 quote or 1 statistic at least on each page of my essay. So if you have a 5 or 6 page essay, in this case it's 6, but 4 pages of content, 4 is a safe bet. All right, now I think I'm rambling. I don't think you need any more information from me, at least in this video. If you want to contact me personally about your group or about any issues you have, please do that via text or Toolbox or email. And I think that's it. You guys are going to be able to see everything that I've talked about in Toolbox in your assignment this week. And I don't think that there, like I said, is anything else. Your paper is due on Monday, by the end of the day next Monday. And next Monday, I'll have another video up for you. If you guys want to try and get together and have a video chat for class, please let me know. I would love to make that happen, even if not everybody could be there. And then that way we could have some discussion. We have the end of the year coming up sooner than you know it. So just as much time as we can connect as possible, I would love to make that happen. I love all of you guys, and I'm praying for all of us. I just know right now it's kind of a weird, it's not even scary as much as it is weird. And so I'm just praying peace for everybody, especially you guys. And I just want you to know that you're loved and you're missed. And I can't wait till we hopefully get back in class. But if it's not in class, we'll have 5 this summer sometime. Okay. You guys have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.